Then just moments ago, I don't know if you heard because you've all been waiting online for 2 days, but just moments ago, this was just before coming up, they just told me prior to what I'm doing right now that Joe Biden went on television and apologized for calling Laken's murderer an illegal. He didn't want to call him illegal. He's apologized. He said he should have called him an undocumented, not an illegal, and he wanted to apologize. He wanted to apologize, and, well, they have a new name, too. They have a new name that's even worse. They have a new name. You know what the new name is? Neighbor. They want to call him neighbor. They want to call him another name. Did you ever hear the other one? Newcomer. A newcomer to our country. Are we going crazy or what? Is this country going crazy? How about that one? Newcomer. The newcomer. No, he was illegal. And I say he was an illegal alien. He was an illegal immigrant. He was an illegal migrant. And he shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy. And Biden should be apologizing for apologizing to this killer.
What's going on, everyone? Talk Screen here today. We're going to give an analysis about Biden's kind of apology tour, I guess, about calling Laken Riley's murderer an illegal. You saw from the intro, Trump highlighted, he was in his speech, and he was talking about essentially how he just hammered Biden over this. And I think Biden's receiving a lot of backlash for his comments from both sides. One, from the right, for apologizing for a murder. Like, I don't get where Democrats get this thing of respecting pronouns and all this little language games they try to do to pretend to be good, to pretend to look like good people, when these people have committed acts of violence against other people. I don't understand their commentary, their approach to a lot of this stuff, and I don't think this is a popular position. And in this video, I'm gonna show you why. So let's go a little bit into Trump, and then I'll show you examples of what Trump was talking about when he said he's a newcomers and all these new terms that Democrats seem to be trying to play with the language, because it seems like Democrats only care about looking good than actually being good. Former President Donald Trump slammed Biden on Saturday after Biden apologized for calling the illegal alien who allegedly murdered a young woman in Georgia an illegal during his recent State of the Union speech. All right, we already know the story with Laken Riley. Sorry, you know, Biden messed me up because I thought it was Lincoln. okay, enough jokes. We're talking about something serious here. Speaking out of political rally, you already know this. He should have called him undocumented, not illegal, and he wanted to apologize. Trump continued, and I think this is a bad look. Right, because this is the MSNBC interview over the week. Biden was asked about referring to the suspect as an illegal, undocumented. Biden interrupted, and I did this on my reaction. Oh, and thanks a lot for you guys who watched it. It did pretty good on my channel. But in my reaction and recap of the whole State of the Union address, I put in the clip how Nancy Pelosi was like, I would have used undocumented, because end of the day, this is politics. And I said this is what it goes back to what I was saying, that Biden used his speech as almost a political ad, right? Biden refers to millions of illegal aliens who has fled into U.S. as newcomers, and this is what Trump is talking about. The new talking points are live for the Democratic Party. Biden's White House is now referring to millions of illegal aliens who have invaded our country as newcomers. This is, for me, this is the Democrats' approach of redefining and changing language, right? Remember, Democrats are the masters at trying to normalize language and in its use in a certain way to change public discussions around these topics, right? And it just highlights another thing that I think a lot of people are angry about Biden about. So Biden next widespread backlash for apologizing over calling Laken Riley murder suspect illegal, right? And he just folded. Like, he said, yo, you just folded over this. And I believe this is a mistake on Biden's part, right? But there's a lot of people in the mainstream media who still believe that Trump is a pathway to Loserville, right?
See if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth Social. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
Oh my
Okay,
God. See,
and here we go.
That's the thing. He just does. I guess he doesn't understand. He just keeps walking into traps. He keeps. You know, again, it's like an old fighter that's past his prime. The things that may have worked, that may have been disruptive, in 2016, everybody knows what's coming. So he's the butt of the joke for, millions and millions of people last night.
Well,
You seen that? You heard that? I think Jimmy Kimmel could have came up with a better joke because it's past your jail time. This is not going to age well because I don't think Trump will ever go to jail at this point, right? You got 91 charges, but y'all can't get a conviction. A conviction ain't one. Apparently, that's going to be Trump's new headline. Trump got 99 problems, but a conviction ain't one. Hit me. Like craziness. But I digress. Right, so this is some of the this is the border crisis topic. This is why I like using the Daily Wire, because I'm able to find a category of stories that kind of help me with my points and help me find these videos. GOP-led House passed the Laken Riley Act, which is supposed to deport illegals that commit crimes. They already have a criminal record, prevent them from getting released into the country, and 170 Democrats voted against it. This is what I'm showing you. The Democrat Party is the party of American last. If you're the self-hating American, you vote for the Democratic Party. That's where I'm coming across, right? If you're a self-hating American, you vote for the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party don't care about Americans. They care about keeping political power, and they're using illegal immigration as a way and as an avenue of doing that. Illegal immigrants charged with Laken Riley's murder as an active gang member. Pathetic. Laken Riley's mom blast Biden for not even getting her name right. And this is where I get this, and other Republicans are reacting to it. But back to why you really came to this video, right? Trump crushes Biden on all top voter issues, from immigration to the economy, ABC poll says. Does this sound like someone who's past their prime, Joe Scarborough? Right? Like, to me, Joe Scarborough and people in Hollywood, you guys are out of touch, right? I made this point before, and I'll reiterate it here. There's stats that's proved that the higher income is, the more likely you are to say that inflation is not a big issue, the economy is doing well, right? So the economy is only supporting really the super wealthy people, who are the Hollywood elites, who are the bubble that Joe Scarborough surrounds himself in. When he speaks for people, millions and millions of people, he's not speaking about us. He's not speaking about the average everyday American that can see reality and that's suffering the negative consequences of inflation. He's talking about these elitist, rich, insulated people in Washington, the lobbyists and Hollywood elites who are paid propagandists, in my view anyway. On Sunday, a new poll showed that more Americans trust former President Donald Trump to lead the country than President Joe Biden. And that's another point I want to highlight here. In another instance, I did a video earlier that independents rather have an egotistical Trump, which is the quoting the negative aspects of both candidates. Independents rather have an egotistical Trump versus an unfit Biden. Biden has mental issues that he needs to rectify. Hey, Joe Biden, you can erase all this doubt by taking a cognitive test. But they don't want him to take a cognitive test. Why? Because there's a chance he might actually fail it. And that only spreads more doubt. But George Scarborough here only want to see and portray what he wants to see and portray. Right? At least I'm an honest actor. At least you guys know where I'm coming from. Hey, Kenny's a conservative. Kenny's right-leaning. Kenny's just honest. Kenny's just telling me what it is. Kenny's showing me why he has the position he has. And it's up to me to think if I trust it or not. That's up for you to decide. I'm not sitting here trying to massage people's brains and trying to get them to believe. I don't care if you use everything I just said as a reason to vote against Donald Trump. I don't care. I say, hey, look, this is why I'm voting for him. This is why a lot of people are voting for him. This is why a lot of people support him. And you do with you will with the information. That's it. According to the ABC poll conducted between March 8th and 9th of 500, that's not a lot of data, but hey, we'll scale that out. Between 500 adults, 36% said they trusted Donald Trump, while Joe Biden received 33%. 30% of those polls said neither had their trust. When asked how would they felt about the job President Biden has done on key issues and how they felt about Trump's performance as president on these issues, former President Donald Trump polled higher than Biden on all issues except abortion and climate change, which to me are two low priority issues. I think right now the 2024 election is about the economy and immigration. That, to me, that's it. I think immigration is a strong one in my view, because it bleeds into the economic point, right? You see the GDP. GDP only really help people who have assets, who have wealth, right? Most Americans don't have assets. Most Americans don't have wealth. Most Americans' wealth and network is tied into their house. Rich people have assets in stocks, shares, other investment materials. So they're benefiting off of this current economy. But cost of living is higher for a lot of everyday Americans. Food cost is higher. I don't care what the inflation index stats that the federal government put out. Look at the reality. Hey, this wasn't the rate of inflation went out of control in 2021. Biden had to pass a Inflation Reduction Act to correct some of the problems that he caused with his spending, with his stimulus check, which has been attributed to one of the factors of the hyper increased inflation rates. Biden did that. Biden had to fix his own problems, right? As you saw from the thing I showed you, Biden started this crisis. Remind him of the crisis he created. House GOP united to send Biden a message during the State of the Union. So, like, where all the roads lead to? Biden. Biden's the problem. Biden's policies, positions are the problem. It's not even Biden the character, Biden the politician. It's the policy him and his party platform pushes for. We need to bring more processing. Why we want to process more of our own destruction? Why we want to process more of an unable workforce that's unable to properly take care of itself, that needs the government to provide for it. It's like when Democrats say they want to increase processing, they want to increase administration, they want to put more boots on the ground to help take in more illegals. All I see it is, hey, we want to process more people into the welfare state. That's how I see it. Because illegal immigrants don't have the skills to actually be self-sustaining in this country. I'm just being honest here. The odds are not in their favor that they're going to come in here and be self-sufficient. They're going to be relying on the government. And you see that in many of the sanctuary cities, blue states like California, who wants to give them health care on the taxpayer's dime. All you're doing is bringing in more liability. So what benefits do you have? Democrats want to increase their census. They know that these people, illegal immigrants, their children, once they become naturalized citizens, whatever generation it happens at, those American citizens will have loyalty to illegal immigrants and not to America. And that'll cause a conflict of interest inside America. And this is why we're not a united country anymore. This is why I think in my lifetime as a millennial, when we get into more positions of power, I legitimately believe that a national divorce will happen, or will be more likely to happen in my generation because of stuff like this, because people don't see eye to eye. Right. And I think this week's Inconvenient Truth will be about multiculturalism, because I really believe it is destroying our country. Right. President Trump received a 49% favorable rating on the economy compared to Biden's 37% on inflation. 45% approved of Donald Trump, 31% approved for Biden. On crime, Trump was favorable to 41 to 35%, and on immigration, the former president got 45% favorability rate to Biden's 29%. Does that sound like a path to Loserville, Joe Scarborough, liberals, people on the left? Let's look more into this data about the hype of the Biden speech, because apparently it was received positively. And here's some context for a lot of people. When you look at survey data, surveys, people's opinions, it's heavily skewed by the people actually giving the answers, right? A CNN survey examining President Joe Biden's State of the Union address contains warning signs for the commander-in-chief. The White House touted the top line findings that 65% of the respondents have a net positive overall reaction to the speech. Allies also pointed out to a 17% jump in viewers' confidence that Biden's policies will move the country forward in the right direction. Now, here's the caveat. But beyond the top line findings, journalists and pundits said the data also raised red flags, particularly when compared to surveys of reactions to past State of the Union speeches over the past few decades. Actually lower than last year. So he has lower viewership compared to last year. But you wonder about the denominator. The modern State of the Union audience is slanted towards people who like and want to hear the president, which is a valid point, right? People who tuning in are people who are more likely to already like Biden. So of course, they're going to give a favorable view of Biden. So that 6 to 10 mark doesn't really mean anything. And this is my thing with survey data. Survey data are very easy to debunk and challenge. right? It's like me saying, oh, I surveyed Black America, and Black America believed that America is still a racist country. Therefore, can my conclusions be accurately stated that America is a racist country? No, you can't make that statement because it's just an opinion. You just informed that, hey, majority of Black people think this way. That's all you validated with a survey. The survey in of itself does not prove a conclusion about a country just because the people feel like they're experiencing something. This is the same thing here, but I digress. So it's actually lower compared to last year's. Here's the last year's move. Positive versus negative rates from those who watched Biden's SCOTUS State of the Union address. 2021, he had 78%. 2022, he had 71%. 2023, he had 72%. 2024, he has 65%. So as you can see, it was somewhat trending downwards already. And that was a big, he dropped what, 6 points probably, 7 points. His worst performance by far, and keep in mind, viewership skewed D, Democrat. His worst performance by far. Wow. But Trump is on the path to Loserville. I don't see it happening. But hey, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section, guys. I really like to interested to hear what you guys have to say about this topic and what the hell's going on here. Do you think Joe Biden has a great chance of winning? Don't have a great chance of winning? At this point, I don't even think it's about Biden anymore. I just want to focus on the Democrats and say, hey, yo, y'all policies, it don't matter who you put as your figurehead, they're bad. They're really bad, right? And I think Trump will have a good chance regardless of who they put in front of him. But that's just my opinion. Let me hear yours in the comment section below. I really like to be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.